Hello guys, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I will be going over all the books that I hope to read in 2025. So let's get right into it. So obviously today's list is not going to be all of the books I'm going to be reading in 2025, but these are the top 10 at this point in time that I really want to get to. I am unfortunately and fortunately a mood reader. So basically what that means is I don't set strict TBRs for myself. I will read books and sometimes I'll be in the mood for this, sometimes I'll be in the mood for that. Sometimes I'll be in the mood for happy cozy fantasy and other times I'll be in the mood for grotesque bloody murder. So I'm pretty either or. So that's why I really don't set strict TBRs for myself at all, because I just read what I feel like reading when I want to read it. So just a disclaimer before we start this video. So I have 10 books here that I am putting like top on my list for this year 2025. Hopefully I can get to all of these by the end of the year. This is my top 10 books that I really hope to get to this year. So let's just get started. The first book that I'm going to talk about is one that I am currently reading and I'm just about halfway through, and that is Life's Short, Talk Fast, 15 Writers on Why We Cannot Stop Watching Gilmore Girls. So this I got for Christmas. My mother gave it to me. How perfect. This is an entire selection of essays, multiple different writers on why they love Gilmore Girls, how it changed their lives in one way or another, and just how much of a phenomenon Gilmore Girls has become for the 21st century. I love it. I just started my love for Gilmore Girls last year. Technically 2023. So that at the tail end of 2023 I started my love for Gilmore Girls. My mother and I started watching it for the first time ever and I fell in love like many other people have, and this book dives into different viewers' stories on how they've seen themselves in Gilmore Girls. Gilmore Girls has helped with some trauma and even strengthening relationships between mothers and daughters, and that's really what the show is all about, and I just love that, and I love that concept so very much. I have only read I think about 9 or so of the essays in here, and I'm really loving this. I have tabbed a few of them. This is a new release. This came out I think just in December, but yeah, I am really loving this and I cannot wait to finish this. 15 leading writers explore what Gilmore Girls means to them in this delightful celebration of a temporary TV classic. So going on the Gilmore Girls trend, I just got the one and only Kelly Bishop's Memoir, and that is the third Gilmore Girl. I screamed when I saw this in the bookstore the other day. I have been wanting it ever since it came out, and I really love how the essays are going, so I would love to read all about Kelly Bishop's side of the story, her life on Broadway, and how she was a performer before Gilmore Girls, and how Gilmore Girls changed her life. 3 different blurbs on the back that I think are just perfect. The first one is from Lauren Graham, Lorelai herself. Kelly Bishop is a remarkable person with remarkable stories to tell. I cherish every long lunch break and late work night I've ever had with Kelly, sharing stories of our careers and love lives, our ups and downs, our disappointments and hopes. This book feels like one of those special encounters. It's a satisfying conversation with a treasured friend. And then the one and only Sutton Foster is on the back here, and I didn't even know this. I just saw this now. It says, bold, unapologetic, and aspiring, Kelly tells her story exactly as she lives her life, on her own terms. Gee, I wish I could be like her when I grow up. Sutton Foster, Kelly Bishop. And another thing I really love about this book is that, see if I can find them, there is a big section of pictures from her life, of her Broadway days, and all of the good stuff, and some behind the scenes pictures from Gilmore Girls. I adore her, and yes, I do want to be like her when I grow up. The next 3 books are all by the same author, and I really wanted to get into this author this year. I have not yet. That is the one and only Mona Awad. All Is Well by Mona Awad. This is a take on Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well. This is very much like a dark academia style book. From the genius author of Bunny, which Margaret Atwood hails as genius, comes a novel about a theater professor who is convinced staging Shakespeare's most maligned play will remedy all that ails her. but at what cost? We are following our main character, Miranda Fitch. Her life is a waking nightmare. The accident that ended her acting career left her with an excruciating chronic back pain, a failed marriage, and a deepening dependence on painkillers. Determined to put on Shakespeare's All's Well That Ends Well, she faces a mutinous cast hell-bent on staging Macbeth instead. That's when she meets three strange benefactors who have had an eerie knowledge of Miranda's past and a tantalizing promise for her future. One where the show goes on, rebellious students get what's coming to them, and the invincible, doubted pain that's kept her from the spotlight is made known. You know, I am an actress. I have been an actress for basically my whole life, so I absolutely love books about theater and the stage and the arts itself. This was the first book of hers that I got of hers. Then the other day I picked up her two other books, which I have been meaning to read, and the first one, of course, is her most popular book, and that is Bunny. This I've heard so many good things about and also some very bad things about. Either way, like, you're either gonna love it, you're gonna hate it. Like, I've heard this compared to a weird teenage version of like Frankenstein, I think. A wild, audacious, and ultimately unforgettable novel by one of the most innovative and original authors out there. A scholarship student who prefers the company of her dark imagination to that of most people, Samantha Heather Mackey is utterly repelled by the rest of her graduate fiction writing cohort at New England's elite Warren University, a clique of unbearably saccharine yet sinister rich girls who call each other Bunny and seem to move and speak as one. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invitation to the Bunny's fabled smut salon and finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, ditching her only friend Ava in the process. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the Bunny's world and begins to take part in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the Bunnies will be brought into a deadly collision. I just had to read the synopsis of it because there's no way I could have done it any justice to that. Like I said, it's kind of like a weird take on Frankenstein. I think that's kind of what I'm getting, and that's what I've heard from other booktubers out there, that it is just a weird up book and I am really here for it. I'm excited to read it. This is going to be, I think, my next read, hopefully. I do have my bookmark on the front page, so I'm very committed to it, so I'm excited. The final one of Mona Awad's books is Rouge. I've heard that this is a dark retelling of Snow White, where it dabbles in more of the dark skincare cultish things and goes deep into the standards of beauty, the standards for women. Again, more dark shit, and love the concept of it. From the critically acclaimed author of Bunny comes a Grimm's Brother fairy tale for the modern age, and a darkly funny horror novel about a lonely young woman who's drawn to a cult-like spa in the wake of her mother's mysterious death. This, I know, is going to be good. I know it's going to be good. I've heard amazing reviews over this, and I really, really just love the cover of the rose, and it's weird. Those, I really want to get into all of Mona Awad's books this year. The next book is none other than If We Were Villians by M.L. Rio. I have wanted this for years. I've wanted to read this for years, and I'm so happy that I got this beautiful edition. This is one of the recent editions that they came out with, and it's the blood splatter edition. I don't know. I love it. I've heard people say that this book is even better than The Secret History by Donna Tartt, or if you liked The Secret History by Donna Tartt, you'll like this, or if you liked this, you'll like The Secret History by Donna Tartt. All of it. I'm excited for this too. This is also another Shakespeare retelling. The students in this are performing Shakespeare, and they're all different thespians. I'm really liking the whole everyone's studying Shakespeare and everyone's so pretentious and they get really so into their roles and bloody things happen. Since I read The Secret History, I have been looking for my next Secret History because I absolutely loved that book when I first read it. Back in 2023, I adored it, and I really hope this is as good or even better. People have said that it's even better, so I'm excited. And also, one thing I love about this is that there's no chapters, there's scenes. Each one is all scenes, and this is and it's placed in acts, so like Act 1. The dedication is for the many weird and the wonderful thespians whom I have had the good fortune to call my friends. I promise this is not about you. I love that. It's so funny. Next is another one of those weird books books, and that is Woman Eating by Kohda. This is one of her shorter ones on in my stack, and this is, I think it's considered a vampire-esque horror book. I don't know a lot about it, and I do want to kind of go into it not knowing a lot about it. The synopsis on the back, there's not much to it. I think it's literally only a sentence long. It says, a young mixed-race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live among humans with her incessant hunger in this stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. And I really love the cover design and the art of the cover, and I'm really hoping this is good. You know me, and I love vampires. I love vampire novels. Some of the blurbs on here are the most unusual, original, and strikingly contemporary vampire novel to come along in years. This was from The Guardian. What more can I say? Next is a book that I have talked about a couple times on my channel, and that is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I read The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern at the end of 2022. I adored that, and I have been wanting and waiting to read The Night Circus. I am just so afraid that it's going to break me. I've heard amazing, gorgeous, beautiful things about this book. Half of me is expecting it to be similar-ish to the Starless Sea, but also, of course, having its own story and the new themes with the circus. I just really, really love Erin Morgenstern's writing. I love how sometimes, like, you're reading and you don't know what's going on, but it all comes together at the very, very end. And I was just left flabbergasted by the end of the Starless Sea. I'm hoping that this book makes me cry. I hope that it gives me a new take on life. I hope it gives me all the feels that the Starless Sea did. Will it be better than the Starless Sea? I don't know, but we shall see whenever I get to this book this year. The next two books are the duology everyone has been talking about lately, and that is the One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns duology. Got this beautiful, beautiful set from Barnes & Noble. These are the beautiful Barnes & Noble collector's editions of these two books. I love the concept of it. If you have magic, you are looked down upon, and if you have magic, then you are immediately killed. Strange things are happening in this world. The first one is my favorite, and this is what fully, like, I want to read this. This is going to be straight up my alley. It says, there once was a girl, clever and good, who tarried in shadow in the depths of the wood. There also was a king, a shepherd by his crook, who reigned over magic and wrote the old book. The two were together, so the two were the same. The girl, the king, and the monster they became. I want that. Can I have that? I want that. And then the second book on the back, it says, here we are, my darling girl, he whispered to me. The end of all things. The last page of our story. I love stories about really weird things. I love dark fairy tales. I love dark fairy tale retellings. And I love kind of like death personified in a character, and those are the vibes I'm getting from those two excerpts that I read. And I've heard from other booktubers that they say, like, the male love interest, one of them at least, is like a shadowy, like, dark magic dude, like spirit entity thing. I don't know. I don't care. I'm here for it all. I just need a dark fairy tale romance that will sweep me off my feet and bring me to the depths of hell. That's what I want from these two books. So those are all of the books that I hope to read this year in 2025. Like I said, I really think I will get to every single one of these, but if I don't, then guess what? We'll be doing the same thing next year. I'm really excited, and I cannot wait to read all of this gothic, grotesque, weird fairy tale books and a little bit of Gilmore Girls, because we need the dark, but we also need the light, happy, comforting of Gilmore Girls. I didn't realize I did that until just now. That's funny. That's really funny. So if you have read any of these books or plan to read any of the books like I do, please do let me know. Comment that down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you have not already, and click the notification bell so you are notified every single time that I upload. I upload every single week. And if you want to find me anywhere else for any more bookish content like this, you can find me on Instagram, GoodReads, Pinterest, and in between the pages of a book. And as always, remember to be the Captain Jack Sparrow of your story, and may your compass lead you to amazing things. And I shall see you guys in my next video. Happy reading, my friends.